No, turn it like this.
Oh, did you wash your hands?
Just
We won't tell the next lot.
am I getting my hands in there?
You are getting your hands in there. One hand will hold the pan with the other because I need you to show everybody what you're doing. Yeah? Yeah. Seeing as nobody has volunteered or voluntold.
Yeah.
She's got it. Have you baked before? You have, of course.
No.
No, it's your first time.
This,
He watches her bake.
yes, she bakes.
Oh no, you've no excuse now.
If I have to go home and start baking now, it's
Yeah.
It's all right. I won't be coming home with you, so you can't blame me. But you can't take it out on me. You can show the people behind you as well. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Go. Yeah, and then I'd say you can leave it down flat now, Tom. Yeah, it's there you go. Look at that. Huh? You're just a born baker, man. Say, don't say that out loud. Now, you're going to dry off your hands, your two hands, rub them together with this flour.
okay.
Okay? That's it. There you go. You can dip in for as much as you want. I know, yeah, you take it off all the pastry, you see? Yeah. Take it off, back and front. You're washing, you're moisturising, you the whole damn lot. Like my husband, she was joking with it, and he was joking with a lady a couple of weeks ago, and she eventually said, you know, I'm going to get you back. So she went over with her hands and she went, goo! She destroyed. So you can do the same thing.
There you go. I like to sleep with both eyes closed.
Oh, do you? There you go, Tom. I think he deserves a round of applause now. Don't you? Great job. Well done, sir. Tap it off. Yeah, that's it. So, folks, that's how quickly it would take to make the cake of bread. But of course, she'd fill the pan up to about here, and she'd do this 2 and 3 times a day, you know, because she'd 7 children and they didn't have much to eat, you know, besides potatoes when the potatoes were there. But they would have eggs, but she would have sold the eggs if she could. The butter, they wouldn't have had the butter because that would be sold, you know, so they didn't have much more. So can you imagine a child, they'd eat at least a quarter cake of bread, you know what I mean? Yeah. A couple of, 3 or 4 times a day, you know? Yeah, we've all niceties today now, we don't have to worry about it, but can you imagine back then they didn't have anything? Yeah, nothing, yeah. So.
Where would she get the soda?
Actually, soda she would have got it in the market, but originally soda came from the sea. Yeah, but today God only knows where soda comes from. You know? Yeah.
Rocks.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from, but anyhow, yeah. But it still takes soda, so if anyone wants to taste, I promise I won't tell the next crowd that you stuck your finger in if you want to taste the soda, which is this one if anyone wants to taste it, okay? Yeah. So folks, that's your cake of bread now. And just imagine that being that big, you know. I'll just get that into place there now. Now you always make the sign of the cross in the cake. And that's to keep the hunger away from the door. Or as they say, let the fairies out. Okay? So you're going to do your blessing just like I did, put a cross in the cake. Just, go over what I did. Yeah, that's it. There we go.
And let the fairies out.
And you want to let the fairies out too? Yeah, sure, why not? There you go. Now, we just flour our pan, folks. And as I said, that'll take about 55 minutes to cook. You turn that halfway through, okay? Maybe about after half an hour, you turn it over and leave it cook on the other side. And if it's not cooked, you just thereafter, you keep turning it there, all right? But going back to when I was 11, when I was a child, when I learned to bake, there were 6 of us in my house, okay? And our home was just like this, no running water, no toilet, until we went into secondary school. Then we got everything. We got a milking machine even to milk our cows, and a new running water and bath, a toilet, which was heaven. Okay. So there was, as I said, there was 6 of us, and my older siblings were in secondary school at the time, okay? We were in primary school, my younger brother and I. I'm just going to put that bar around that door for a second.
Sure.
Yeah. That's fine, no bother at all. So they were in secondary school and they wouldn't get home from school until 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. But in the meantime, yeah, they'd get off the bus at around 5:15, so they'd walk the 10 minutes. But of course they wouldn't rush home, because if they rushed home, they get a job, wouldn't they? You know, so my brother and I, we walked home, and we were only about 20 minutes from the school. So when in the summertime, my parents would be busy. You know, they had 24 cows, and those cows had to be milked by hand, morning and evening, because the milk yield in the summer is quite high. So they'd have to get up early, and then they'd be late at night time. So, and my mother would try and bake in between this. But this particular day, she was in the hayfield, and we'd always go to the hayfield to say hello to them. And when I went to the hayfield to my mother, she said, "Frances Crather," she said, "I have nothing for supper, would you make a cake of bread for me?" So of course, I knew my brother now was going to be free for the day, and I'm not going to be free. So I tried everything to get out of it. I tried even telling her, you know, I'd poison somebody, I'd kill somebody. I've never done it. I tried everything. Tears, nothing worked. In the end, she said to me, "Nobody will die, Frances." She said, "Will you go home, child, and make me a cake of bread?" That was it. There were my instructions. So home I had to go to make the bread. So, and I'd only done it about twice. I had watched her loads of times. But you know, when you're watching your mother and she's in a hurry, "Get out of my way," she tells you. "Oh, wait a minute. You're holding me up." So home I went, and as I said, this was our fireplace, crane over the fire. But you don't light the fire in the summer, because you don't need the fire. You know, it's only you light the fire. It's like turning on the heating in the summertime. You don't need it. So I only needed the fire for baking. So I had to go home and make the fire as well as making the bread. And I thought, how am I going to get this blasted fire lighting? I thought, because baking of the bread was no problem, folks, but it's the lighting of the fire was the problem. Because I didn't, and I still can't even, somebody was telling me the other day, they came in the 70s, but I don't know, did they? Fire lighters, fire logs, I had nothing like that. I had a box of matches, I had newspapers, kindling, and turf and timber. I had loads of turf and timber. But of course, when you crack a match to a side of turf, it's not going to light, is it? So you have to coax the fire, you know. So, and you need a very good fire like this. Now you need a red hot fire, but you need it for at least about 2 hours to bake the bread, the cake of bread in the bastable oven, because you have to have heat top and bottom, okay? So I made my bread. I through all the crying and the tears and the giving out, I got the fire going eventually. And when you bake bread and put it in the bastable oven, like we just done there, you do the same in the bastable oven. So you flour your pan, your oven, you put in your cake and cover it, and you hang it off the crane like I've done here with the griddle pan, okay? But then when it's hanging off the crane, you have to cover it with hot coals all around, really hot coals, you know, because that's the only way the cake is going to bake. You have to have lighting hot coals like that, you know. You all right? Yeah. Yeah. And some people in a griddle pan, I think they put it on the ground, on the coals on the ground, and then you put coals on top. Yeah. This one, yeah, you hang it off the crane. You could put it on the coals as well, but I think when it's, because it has to have a leg like the thing for to off, because you have to have air going into the fire, you know. So this way, this is probably handier really in a way. But of course, when you have the bastable oven hanging off the crane, the coals are going to go cold very quickly. So that is why you need your fire for at least 2 hours to be red hot. You see, they're going black already, they're cooling down. So you have to keep changing that out, you know. You have to keep, so that's why you have to have a good fire. And you can only have a good fire for so long, because you have to keep it built up, but you have to have really dry turf and timber, because if you put in a wet sod of turf, of course it's going to quench the fire really, or deaden it anyway, you know. So that'll change the temperature of the cake as well, you know. So that was the beginning of my baking, folks, and I'm still baking today. And like I said, like my mother said, we all had brown bread for supper. And none of my siblings even asked who made the brown bread or anything to do with it. And like my mother said, nobody died at the end of the day. So after that, I was doing a lot of baking. So yeah, so anybody, any questions?
of the drink, some of the drink that they would have drank, yeah? So if, like,
So how do you pronounce again in Gaelic, water of life?
Ishkebaha.
Ishkebaha.
Ishkebaha, yeah. This man had it right, yeah? Now, as were always a very, very jolly type of people. All the times were hard, obviously, but they liked a bit of crack. That's where we get the saying, the bit of crack, which means fun, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so they gather here at night time and then, as I said, entertain one another. Have you heard the word gallivanting?
Yes.
Yeah. That comes from here, because apparently the local farmers, the menfolk, would always be missing an imaginary animal around nightfall, and they'd always seem to find him around Molly Gallivans. Yeah? So some lady or ladies came up with the saying that the men went gallivanting again last night. Yeah? Gallivan, Gallivan, Gallivanting, gallivanting. So you're all the gallivanters today. You're gallivanting. Yeah? Very good. And have you heard the song Whiskey in the Jar?
No.
No,
We just listened to it on the way in.
Yes, yeah, coming over the County Kerry mountains, they talk about Molly's whiskey. And, yeah.
We listened to the Thin Lizzy version.
The Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, and the Jerry version. And the
Yeah,
Jerry
yeah,
version.
yeah. Because it started off with Molly and then someone changed it to Ginny and different names, but this would be the, yeah. This is a musical instrument that would be played here a lot back in the day. It's actually the first traditional Irish musical instrument. It's called a bowron, and a bowron means the deafener, yeah? Because it's a drum. Now, I suppose much like the Native Americans or Indians or whatever, the Celtic people have their drum, so that is the bowron. And it's made from goat skin. This is wood, but this is goat skin. And you play it with a stick, and you hold the stick like you'd hold a pin, like that. Yeah, this is the way we were taught going to school. Our teacher taught us by way of, he said, remember your mama and dada. Mama, dada, mama, dada, mama, dada, mama, dada, mama, dada, mama, dada. Mama, dada, mama, dada, mama, dada, mama, dada, mama,
Really good.
and it, huh?
I'd be horrible at
Oh,
it.
just try it.
Good.
Come on.
No, thanks, right?
Yeah. And there's no set rules how to play it, you know, whatever way that's the way we were taught, but some people play it like this. You can play it any way you fancy, okay? But I hold it like a pin, like you'd be writing, and if you come up here and take, just catch this, yeah? And then you hit it up. Do that as well, yeah?
Yeah, you got it.
A bit faster. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, you can hear the music coming. Yeah?
You did. Pops wants to try too.
Thank you.
Very good job.
Yay!
Anyone else like to try? Any other volunteers? No? And that's where the bit of crack came in. You know, you hit the wood. Yeah? So that was a bit of crack. Yeah. And that's where Irish dancing all began, where people started timing the music to the beat of the drum. Now they didn't have any hard shoes like we have today with the tips in them, and the floors weren't concrete floors, so it was hard to make the noise in them. Yeah. So I'm wearing a pair of runners today to show you how they get over that. Yeah. And so they started. You can't hear the noise now. So the a big tradition back then was to take down the half door and dance on the door. Yeah? Most doors in Ireland at the time were half doors, and the reason for the half door was the English imposed a window tax in Ireland. Yeah? As well as paying tax for your land, you pay tax for your house. You pay tax for the windows. The bigger the window, the more windows. And the idea was to keep people in the darkness as much as possible. If you keep people in the darkness, you keep them more depressed. Yeah? So people cut the door and hinge the top half. Yeah, sure. It's called free light. Yeah. Yeah. See how dark the house is now. Yeah. You open it up and you get more light. Now especially if the windows closed, of course the room would be fully dark. The hinges back then were a different type of hinge. That's the old hinge, an open hinge called buck on. So you could lift the door off the frame and put it on the ground. Yeah. Now I want to take off the door. Here. Now the original Irish dance was called Shinose dancing, which means the old dance. And again, there were no set rules to it. I'd have my style of dancing, you'd have your style of dancing, you'd come tomorrow night with a different fish. So there was great entertainment. And you dance with your legs, you dance with your body, you dance with your hands, anything that was shape. Yeah? So I'll do my version of Shinose dancing now, and you can clap along. Okay?
My, how things have changed.
Anyone like to try?
Come on, no dance.
And I'm not quite sure. Are you familiar with the competition dancing, Irish? You know, competition dancing, or the dancing competition, but different Irish dancing got very, very serious, you know, and nothing out of place like in you have to be so.
The river dance.
River dance. Thanks to river dance and Michael Flatley, he brought back a lot of the Shinose back into it, kind of a mix between both. Yeah.
It's in the back, right?
Yeah, it's in the back. Go that way.
Folks, some of the Irish. Have we any Irish connections here? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Second generation in Sinclair.
From where?
In Sinclair.
In Sinclair. Oh, right. Okay.
And Cork on my mother's side.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah.
My family traced it back to Fraser.
Fraser. Okay. And how far back?
It's about 5 or 6 generations.
Oh, right. Way back. Yeah. Now, of course, during famine times and thereafter, there was massive migration from Ireland. If you left back then, of course, the chances of returning home were very, very slim. I'm sure your grandfather or great-grandfather.
My grandfather was a 16-year-old runaway from Sinclair who joined the United States Navy at 16 years old and served in the Spanish-American War.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Did he never came back to Ireland? No. Yeah. As the majority, very few came back. In fact, the night before you left, before you immigrated, there was a going away party, a farewell party for the immigrant called the American Wake. Yeah? So called because people were usually going to the Americas, and to the wake in the fact that they'd probably never see their parents or most of their siblings again. So very sad occasion, but a celebration as well, because at least one person was getting the chance of the better life in that great country of yours. Yeah? And so when people immigrated, they still had the love of family, of course, and the memory of family in their homeland. So some of them wrote music and song in their memory, and most of them were laments. So you can hear the sadness in the music and the song and that. This tune I'm going to play you now is called My Dear Old Home in the Kerry Hills, and it was composed by a man that left this area, returned on again every year. that's what we played in memory of all, honour of all them great people at that time. Folks, another great tradition here in Ireland, and I hope we don't break it today, is that when a group would gather like this, we'd all sing a song together. Yeah? Now I'm aware we're from different parts of the world and we won't all know the same song, but I have a song with a very, very, very simple chorus, and I'd like you to join me. Yeah? Would you do that?
Sure.
Yeah? This lady is having, I don't know. Huh?
You heard her sing?
Huh?
Have you heard her sing?
Sorry?
Ow.
Doing you a favor.
I hope to hear her singing now.
Me too.
Yeah. This is a song about a local character down here in the town of Kerry, a local town, and his name was Jack the Carter. Now, he was Jack O'Sullivan, but because there's so many O'Sullivans in this area, each community have, each family, had a nickname, yeah? So he was called the Carter because he was a courier at the time, delivering goods around in his cart. So they were called carters. Now, Jack had a mule to pull his cart around. You all know what a mule is?
Sure.
Yeah? A very dangerous animal. You wouldn't stand behind a mule too long and get kicked up. Yeah? So this is a story about Jack and his mule, and I got through the chorus once. You'll have it off, no problem. So easy. And then we'll sing our song. Yeah? Okay? In a mule you will find 2 feet behind, and 2 you'll find before. You stand behind before, you'll find but the feet behind before. So if you stand behind, the feet behind, you'll find what they before. So stand before the feet behind and behind the feet before. Have you all that off now?
Got it.
Already?
That's
Yes?
what Jerry was saying.
Oh, my name is Jack the Carter. I work about the town. I have a strong and sturdy mule to pull my cart around. Now I'll tell you from experience, a tale I'll tell to you. Never stand behind the mules behind, but it's a dangerous thing to do. For in a mule you'll find 2 feet behind, and 2 you'll find before. Come on lads, clap along. In a mule you'll find 2 feet behind, and 2 you'll find before. You stand behind before, you'll find what the feet behind before. So if you stand behind the feet behind, you'll find what they before. So stand before the feet behind and behind the feet before. Diddly idly 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 niddly niddly nyam. Oh, a mule, he is an animal of very low degree. He hasn't got one single branch upon his family tree. He's both daring and cunning, and this is all because his mother was a donkey and his father was a whore. Very good. And a mule will find 2 feet behind. You stand behind before, you find the feet behind before. So if you stand behind the feet behind, you find what they before. So stand before the feet behind and behind the feet before. Diddly idly 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 niddly niddly nyam. Oh, last week in Kenmare Marketplace, I was loading up some hay when a policeman said, "Hey, Shift your cart, your ass is in the way. Oh, me mule stuck out his limblin, and he hit him up the bum, and he landed in the gutter, halfway to kingdom come. Oh, and the mule is fine to feet behind. Before, you stand behind before you fight with the feet behind before. So we stand behind the feet behind. Time the day before, so stand before the feet behind the feet before. Diddly, 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 diddly. Yeah. Thank you. The young girls take my breath away. I've a little, not a little, a big whiskey still out the back, so I'm going to invite you out now for a little presentation on how the whiskey was made, the pochine, and a little tasting, okay?